One peaceful afternoon, two neighborhood children, Ethan and Olivia, decided to try a game they had seen online. At first, it was just innocent curiosity, but no one expected that their actions would lead to a terrible tragedy. What happened that plunged their families into unbearable pain? Who would have to pay the price for this mistake? Stay tuned until the end to uncover the shocking truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss more meaningful stories. Under the warm afternoon sun, two neighborhood children, Ethan and Olivia, joyfully ran around the yard. Since they were little, they had been as close as siblings, always exploring new things together. Their families were the same, with their parents being best friends who completely trusted one another. One day, Ethan begged his mom to buy him a phone. He claimed he needed it for homework, but in reality, he just wanted his own device to watch videos and play games. Out of love for her son, Ethan's mother agreed and bought him a simple, kid-friendly phone, reminding him to use it responsibly. At first, Ethan used the phone to watch cartoons and play age-appropriate games. Olivia often sat beside him, laughing together at funny videos. But one day, while browsing videos online, Ethan stumbled upon something different. It was an adult video with images they had never seen before. Curiosity took over, and Ethan quickly pulled Olivia closer to watch. They didn't fully understand what they were seeing, but the secrecy and excitement intrigued them. From that moment on, whenever they had a chance, they would secretly watch more similar videos. Gradually, Ethan and Olivia became quieter. They no longer enjoyed playing outside as much and instead preferred staying indoors with the phone. Their parents noticed the change, but didn't think anything was seriously wrong. One afternoon, Ethan's mother came home earlier than usual and found the house unusually quiet. A feeling of unease crept over her as she walked straight to her son's room, calling their names. Hearing her voice, Ethan hurriedly turned off the phone and hid it under his pillow. But his mother had already seen his nervous expression. She stepped forward, picked up the phone, and checked the browsing history. When she realized what they had been watching, her face turned pale with shock. Immediately, she called Olivia's mother over. Both mothers sat across from their children, their expressions filled with worry and disappointment. Olivia's mother sternly asked how they had come across such content. Ethan lowered his head, while Olivia burst into tears. After a stern lecture, their parents warned them that such content was not appropriate for their age and demanded that they never watch it again. However, instead of taking the phone away, they assumed their words had been enough to teach them a lesson. Ethan and Olivia, however, became more secretive. They found ways to avoid getting caught, setting alarms to remind them to turn off the phone before their parents got home. They didn't just watch anymore. They began discussing what they had seen, wondering if they should try it. One afternoon, while their parents were out shopping, they decided to act out a scene from one of the videos. They locked themselves in the bathroom and began experimenting. Just then, Ethan's mother's voice called out from outside, startling them. Panicked, they quickly tried to hide the phone. But before they could react, the bathroom door swung open. Olivia's mother stood there, eyes wide in horror at the scene before her. The shock was too much for her to bear. Overcome with distress, she collapsed on the spot. The family rushed her to the hospital, but the emotional trauma had been too great, and she did not survive. Her passing became an unbearable sorrow for both families. After the incident, Ethan's parents immediately took away his phone, banning him from using one. They also enforced strict rules, ensuring that the children were never left alone together. Seeking guidance, the families turned to counselors and their church to help Ethan and Olivia understand the gravity of their actions. Over time, the children slowly realized their mistake. They began participating in extracurricular activities, learning how to use technology responsibly, and understanding that not everything on the internet was appropriate for them. This story serves as a warning to parents about the importance of monitoring what their children are exposed to. Curiosity is natural, but without proper guidance, it can lead to unexpected consequences. Parents must not only be involved in their children's lives, but also ensure that they have access to age-appropriate information. What are your thoughts on this story? Share your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more meaningful stories. As time passed, Ethan and Olivia found themselves struggling to return to the innocence of their childhood. The incident had left a mark not only on them, but on their families and community. Olivia, once the most cheerful and outgoing girl in their neighborhood, now kept to herself. She rarely spoke, avoided eye contact, and no longer played outside like she used to. Ethan, on the other hand, carried the guilt of what had happened. He had never meant for anything to go wrong, but he now understood that actions, even those taken out of curiosity, could have serious consequences. Ethan's parents took immediate action to correct their mistakes. They removed his access to the internet without supervision and attended parenting workshops that helped them better understand how to set boundaries. They also sought counseling for Ethan, who at first resisted talking about his feelings. It was difficult for him to face what had happened, but through therapy, he started to understand the importance of responsibility. His therapist explained how young minds absorb information, often without fully grasping the consequences of their actions. He learned that just because something was available online did not mean it was meant for children to see. Meanwhile, Olivia's father was devastated by the loss of his wife and struggled to support his daughter emotionally. He did his best to be there for her, but he too carried the burden of guilt, questioning if he had done enough to protect his family. Friends and relatives encouraged him to seek professional help, and after much hesitation, he agreed. Olivia was also placed in counseling, where she was encouraged to express her emotions. For a long time, she refused to talk, but eventually she opened up about her fears, her sadness, and her confusion over what had happened. Through therapy, she began to accept that she was not to blame for the tragedy. The school also took action. Teachers and administrators noticed the changes in the two children and decided to implement a digital safety program. This program educated both students and parents about the dangers of unrestricted internet access. Discussions were held about how exposure to inappropriate content could shape young minds and lead to behaviors that children did not fully understand. Parents were encouraged to be more involved in their children's online activities, teaching them that the internet was a tool that needed to be used wisely. Months passed, and Ethan and Olivia were slowly guided back to a sense of normalcy. Their first supervised meeting was filled with awkward silences, but as they spent time together, they realized how much they missed each other. Their friendship had been built on years of shared memories, and although the incident had caused a deep wound, they were willing to rebuild what was lost. They were no longer just two kids playing without a care in the world. They had grown in ways they never expected, learning lessons about trust, responsibility, and the impact of their choices. Their parents decided to take a proactive approach, working with the local community to raise awareness. They organized meetings where experts spoke about digital safety, helping families understand the risks children faced when left to explore the online world unsupervised. They also advocated for open communication between parents and children, encouraging families to talk about difficult topics rather than ignoring them. Ethan and Olivia, now more aware of the impact their actions had, joined these discussions. They shared their experiences, hoping that by telling their story, they could prevent other children from making the same mistakes. As they continued to heal, they found a new purpose. They became ambassadors for online safety, speaking at schools and youth groups about the importance of responsible internet use. Their story spread beyond their community, inspiring schools in other areas to adopt similar programs. Their pain and regret had been transformed into something meaningful, something that could help others. Through it all, they learned that while curiosity was natural, it needed guidance. They realized that their parents' rules were not meant to limit them, but to protect them. They understood that making good choices was not just about avoiding punishment, but about safeguarding their futures. Most importantly, they learned that mistakes, no matter how painful, could be used to create positive change. This story serves as a reminder that technology, while a powerful tool, must be handled with responsibility. Parents must be present in their children's digital lives, not as enforcers of rules, but as guides who help them navigate the complexities of the online world. Children must understand that their actions have consequences and that trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. What are your thoughts on this story? Have you ever experienced or heard of something similar? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more important discussions like this one. As time passed, Ethan and Olivia slowly began to regain a sense of normalcy. Their families continued to support them through therapy and open communication, ensuring they had a safe space to process their emotions. Though the scars of the past remained, they learned to channel their experiences into something meaningful. Their friendship, once strained by guilt and sorrow, grew stronger as they leaned on each other for support. They spent more time outdoors, rediscovering the simple joys of childhood that had been overshadowed by the consequences of their mistakes. Ethan's parents became advocates for online safety, working alongside local schools to implement educational programs that taught children and parents about responsible internet use. They organized workshops where professionals explained the dangers of unrestricted access to digital content, emphasizing the importance of parental supervision and guidance. Olivia's father, despite his grief, found purpose in helping other families avoid similar tragedies. He spoke at community gatherings, sharing his story in the hopes that it would serve as a cautionary tale. The school's digital safety program expanded, incorporating real-life stories to help students understand the impact of their choices. Teachers encourage open discussions about online behavior, ensuring that children felt comfortable asking questions rather than seeking answers in the wrong places. Through these efforts, the community as a whole became more aware of the challenges children faced in the digital age. Families became more involved in their children's lives, prioritizing conversations about trust, responsibility, and ethical decision-making. Ethan and Olivia took part in these initiatives, using their experiences to guide younger children toward making better choices. They participated in peer-led discussions, offering insight into how curiosity, if left unchecked, could lead to situations beyond a child's understanding. They emphasized the importance of talking to trusted adults, reminding others that no question was too embarrassing or unimportant when it came to learning about the world in a safe and responsible way. Their willingness to share their journey inspired others to reflect on their own behaviors, leading to a cultural shift in how parents and children approach digital literacy. As they grew older, they continued to carry the lessons they had learned. They remained active in spreading awareness, speaking at youth events, and mentoring children who struggled with similar challenges. They understood that education was the key to prevention, and they dedicated themselves to ensuring that no other child would feel lost or misguided when exploring the internet. The story of Ethan and Olivia serves as a powerful reminder of the impact of guidance and accountability. It highlights the importance of parental involvement, emphasizing that children need more than just rules. They need understanding, support, and education. It teaches that mistakes, while painful, can be transformed into opportunities for growth and change. What do you think about this story? Have you ever faced a situation where digital safety became a concern in your life or someone you know? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this story meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more important discussions.